McEntire, and I'm so excited to be your host for A Daytime to Remember. Over the next 9 weeks, we're going to be reliving some of the best moments from our favorite ABC daytime dramas. Take a look around. These are some of the thousands of hours of soaps that have been broadcast on ABC over the last 35 years. The wild weddings, the endless lies, the lust, the romance, the mysteries, and the fun. It's all here. So, call all your friends and tell them it's time to relive the magic. And if you've never seen these shows, get ready, because you're in for a daytime to remember. A daytime to remember. Where were you in 1970? I was in junior high school in Kiowa, Oklahoma, when a brand new soap opera came on TV. It was called All My Children. It was a hit from day one. For the next few weeks, we'll look back at All My Children. Today, we'll see one of the first episodes featuring a certain teenage terror by the name of Erica Kane. Wait till you get a look at her. We'll also see Mona, Nick, and Ruth Martin, too. Except she wasn't Joe's wife back then. She was Ruth Brent, married to a loser car salesman named Ted. Their son, Phil, is also here, though he's not really their son. Phil's adopted, but he doesn't know it. It's springtime in Pine Valley, and Phil's in love, puppy love, with Tara Martin. But you won't see them together in this episode because Phil's in trouble, big trouble. There's been a gas leak in the Brent house, and the fumes have nearly knocked Phil out. That's the story. Now, are you ready to take a trip into Pine Valley's past? Here in glorious black and white is a classic from year number 1 of All My Children.
Help me. If I could just see the numbers.
You shouldn't go out in weather like this without a hat, Phil.
Come on, Terry, you sound like my mother.
Why should I? We both love you.
Your headache's probably from a sinus infection, honey.
We both love you.
There's a bottle of aspirin on the right-hand shelf as you face the sink.
We both
You're
love
overtired.
You. We both love you. We both love you.
The state sicker isn't an engine guarantee. You know how women are about cars, Doctor, especially their first one. Well, you tell her to bring it in, and we'll let our maintenance department take a look at it. Well, not at all, Doctor. That's what we're here for. Goodbye. Oh, they're all alike. Drive their cars into the ground, and they expect to get service forever. What do you think would happen if I went back to that hospital in Florida and asked them to fix my back again, without charge?
I'm sure that Dr. Nichols would not send you a very large bill.
I don't think he'd send me any bill at all because I'm not going to let him get his hands on me. Well, honey, how was your day?
Well, it's not over yet.
Well, that's right. You've got to work late tonight.
If I have an hour off for supper, though, and I thought that maybe I could stop by and persuade you to have a sandwich with me.
Oh, Ruth, I wish you'd called.
Oh, Ted, can't you get away?
No, Sam Darren's coming in about 15 minutes. I wish there were 100 like him. He buys a car every 2 years. It's just like clockwork. I'm sorry you wasted your trip.
Well, it won't be wasted if you have a few minutes to talk.
Well, sure.
Ted, look, I didn't want to talk about this in the house.
Well, I've told you how I feel, Ruth. Nick Davis has us completely boxed in.
Oh, no, I don't want to talk about Nick, at least not directly, no. I want to talk about What's going to happen to our son in September?
Well, he don't even know his draft number until the draft lottery comes up sometime in November.
Right, so I think our attitude has to be life goes on as if there were no war and no draft.
I suppose so.
Ted, that means college.
Now, Ruth, we've been over that arithmetic time and time again, and if Phil isn't willing to live home and go to the university here, I just don't see how we can manage it.
And if he goes to school here, then there is absolutely no way of preventing him from taking that job with Nick Davis.
So, like I said, we're boxed in.
Honey, we can borrow the money.
You mean from a bank?
Yes.
And how will we pay it back?
Well, I talked to Mr. Hanley at the bank this afternoon, and he said that they do give out student loans.
Oh, Ruth, do you know what it costs to borrow money these days?
Well, he said if the family's income is under $15,000 yearly, then the federal government pays the interest.
Yeah, well, I expect to do a lot better this year. Maybe go above 15.
Well, all right, even if we do. It's only 7% simple interest.
I still don't see why he can't live at home with us, where he belongs.
Oh, Ted, listen, we've got to face the fact that when a boy reaches a certain age, he wants to move away from home. Not because he doesn't love us, but because he feels the need for more independence.
Okay, but I just can't see us borrowing money.
Will you at least go in and see Mr. Hanley?
Yes.
And not a word to Philip.
Oh, the amount of attention he pays to me these days, I could tell him the whole story and he wouldn't hear a word.
Well, between school and his job and Tara really has an awful lot on his mind. You know, I think he's coming down with something.
You mean the flu?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't. He complained of a headache when I talked to him today. I think maybe I'll call him and see how he's feeling. Is it all right if I use this telephone?
Sure, but dial 9 first for outside.
You know, just not like Philip to complain about anything physical. The line is busy.
Probably talking to Tara. You know, Ruth, I think all that ails that boy is just a bad case of puppy love.
I've got it, Gran.
Hi.
Hi.
Got an old friend come in out of the cold?
Yeah, come in, old friend. Let me have your coat.
Don't bother to hang it up. I just got a minute. Hasn't Phil come over yet?
I don't think Phil's going to come over tonight.
Oh, that's too bad. I got a date with Erica. Nothing special, but I thought we all might go out and bowl a few lines.
Oh, I'd like to, but, you know.
What's with Phil? Even weather like this shouldn't keep him away from your door.
Well, he said he had a headache and he was feeling really awful. So I told him to take a nap and forget about seeing me tonight.
Well, maybe if he's had a nap, he'll change his mind. Let's give him a call.
Oh, all right. I guess he'll be awake by now.
Busy.
Oh, wonder who he's talking to.
What if he's got a new girl?
Well, I'll take it in my stride. I'll only kill him, that's all.
So, how are the plans for the surprise party coming?
Well, it looks like there are going to be about 12 of us. And my father is escorting your Aunt Anne.
Poor Erica. That means there'll be 2 women there who are prettier than she is.
Oh, wouldn't she love to hear you say that?
You know, I really can't blame Erica for letting her looks be so important. You know, when you look at the rest of her life, what's she got?
She's got a mother who loves her.
Well, you and I know you don't put much value on that until you lose it.
Right, I guess you're right.
Hey, let's call old Sleepyhead again.
Okay, I don't think he's going to come out, but I'd like to know how he's feeling.
Still busy.
Wow.
That must be some conversation.
About you, but I forgot about those clunky old-fashioned dial phones. Grandpap had one of those. Bet you Erica had one of these. Every teenage girl did. But then again, this wasn't just any teenage girl. This was Erica Kane, budding superstar.
Mona, you are one mean cook.
Are you saying that you enjoyed your dinner?
I enjoyed it so much I don't have the energy to get up out of this chair.
Well, who's making you?
Well, there really are some things I should be doing.
Nicky, you're not going over to the Brents, are you?
What made you think of that?
Well, you mentioned it earlier, and I know you. You know that Ruth and Ted don't want Phil to work for you, so you see a way of irritating them by going by there without an invitation. I know you're going to do that.
Now, Mona, I don't want to irritate anybody.
You know what you are? You're like a little boy who's got a scab on his elbow. You just can't stop scratching it. Now, you, for once, be a good boy and promise me that you won't go over there and stir up a lot of trouble.
Cross my heart.
Hi, honey.
Hi. Did you have dinner?
Mm-hmm, yes, I did.
Erica, you should have called me.
Oh, well, I couldn't. By the way, Chuck's coming over later. Oh. Are you here again?
Erica,
Yes, Erica, but not for long. I'm almost leaving.
are you going out again?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how we feel.
Now that she has that car, I never know where she is. Sometimes she goes 4 or 5 places in one evening.
Well, you got to go where the action is, Mona. Isn't that right, Erica?
When there is any. I mean, Pine Valley isn't exactly the corner of Hollywood and Vine.
No. Well, I've been on that corner. It's not all it's cracked up to be.
I'd like to find that out for myself.
You know, Mona, I really should be going. Thanks a lot for everything.
You're welcome, Nicky. Anytime.
I'm sure Mr. Davis will take you up on that, Mother.
Yes, I just might. Good night, Eric. It's always nice to see you. Thanks.
Nicky,
What?
you remember what I said about the little boy?
Yes, I'll remember what you said about the little boy. Good night, Mona.
Night, honey.
Is he going to be here every time I come in the door?
If I choose to invite him, yes, he will be.
Well, I just don't understand what you see in a creep like that.
Mind your tongue, Erica. Nicky is an old friend.
He's still a creep.
And when I invite him to this house, you're not to be rude to him.
I wasn't rude to him. Look, when he came here yesterday, I put his silly flowers in the vase. I talked to him until he came home. He was rude to me.
Well, how? What did he do?
Well, he had the nerve to say that Daddy would have left us anyhow, no matter what we did to try and hold on to him.
Maybe he would have.
I don't believe that.
I wish I didn't. Oh, maybe if I could have turned myself into a different kind of person when he felt that he needed a different kind of wife after his first picture was a success, maybe things would have been different. But I couldn't. I could just be what I am. And that wasn't enough.
Well, nobody's ever going to do that to me.
I hope not, Rika. I truly hope not.
When I decide on a man, he's going to have success written all over him before our marriage even starts. And when he makes it, I'm going to be just what he bargained for. Nobody's going to throw me over for some starlet.
She wasn't a starlet, honey.
Oh, whatever she was.
Erica, don't you understand? People change. Their needs change. Your father thought he needed a different kind of wife, whether he was right or not. He thought he did. Now, where can two people go from there?
But you could have held on to him if you tried, couldn't you?
How? It's not like in the magazines. 10 ways to hold a man. Honey, when a man doesn't want you anymore, there isn't even one way.
But he wants me with him.
Well, of course he does. It's just that he's very busy.
What do you mean?
Well, only that he'd have you with him a lot more if he weren't so terribly busy.
Yeah, but he has me with him a lot. Stop trying to make it sound like he doesn't.
Erica, I wasn't trying to make it sound like that.
Yes, you were. You're always doing that. Just because he doesn't want you, you want me to think he doesn't want me either. But he does. And you can't change that. Not ever.
Well, what do you want to do?
About what?
Don't you want to do anything?
I don't know. Certainly don't want to go bowling.
Oh, is there anything good on the boob, too?
Oh, yeah, sure. A whole lot of shows about widowers and divorced men who have a whole lot of lovable kids that they're all batty about.
What turned you off against the world?
I had to sit through a lecture, and yesterday you will never guess who was doing the lecturing.
I'll bite.
Your friend, Mr. Davis.
What do you mean, my friend? I hardly know the man.
Well, Phil's friend, then. You know, he had the nerve to criticize me for interfering with Phil and Tara.
Well, you did, didn't you?
No! I asked him to tutor me in algebra. Tara did the rest.
Well, that's your way of looking at it.
And nobody is willing to look at it my way. Oh, let me ask you something. Weren't you dating Tara before Phil was?
You know I was.
And did anyone accuse him of being a homewrecker or something just because he moved in on you?
Phil didn't move in. I mean, he didn't try to pull anything sneaky.
What do you think I did?
Erica, let's let it go. What Tara did was take a look at both of us and decide which one she wanted.
And you lost.
Oh, come on. You make it sound like the both of us came in second.
Well, that's what Phil and Tara think.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do. They're both laughing at us. But I'll have the last laugh yet. You'll see.
Does that kid think the telephone was invented for him? I'm going to call the operator and tell her to cut in.
No, Ted, wait. Let it wait, please.
For why?
Well, because there's something else I want to talk to you about, and I don't want Philip to hear.
You saw Amy?
Amy saw Nick Davis yesterday.
How much money does he want?
Not money. Help.
Help?
Unless Amy persuades Philip to work for Nick Davis, Nick is going to tell Link that she had a child by him 19 years ago.
But he doesn't know that Phil's that baby.
That is what I told Amy, but, oh, Ted, we can't be sure.
I don't know what to say, Ruth. What are we going to do?
As far as I can see, nothing.
What's Amy going to do?
Ted, does she really have a choice?
I guess not.
Oh, Ted, listen, I've got to get back.
Oh, honey, I'm sorry. I couldn't even take you out for a sandwich.
That's all right, I understand. What time, how late will you be in?
Well, I really can't say. I may have to make a delivery after Mr. Darren comes in.
Listen, Ted, would you keep after it until you reach Philip, please?
Sure, honey.
Okay, darling. I'll see you when I see you.
Right.
Tara, can you hear me?
Well, if you're holding your breath and wondering or worrying if Phil survived his gas chamber of horrors, never fear. Nick Davis came to his rescue and saved the boy's life. When Nick finally found out that Phil was his son, he promised never to breathe a word to him. But Erica never made such a promise. When little Miss Kane got hold of the news, she blabbed it to everyone in Pine Valley, including Phil. Oh, boy, what would Pine Valley be without Erica Kane making trouble? You know, as a teenager, she learned the art of the lie. And as a young woman, she perfected it. You'll see for yourself tomorrow in an episode with husband number 3, Tom Cudahy. Now that was a daytime to remember. See you then.